Hi children, good morning to all. Today we study the new poem Palm Tree written by Rabindranath Tagore. Have you seen palm trees? What do you think about this palm tree? I think that the picture of palm tree that comes to your mind that it is higher than all other trees. If it is in a place, all other trees will be shorter than this particular tree. So what about this palm tree? Let's study into detail. Before that, let's try to know something about the poet Rabindranath Tagore. Who is Tagore? The thing that comes to your mind will be of an older man having long beard, and he is well-known poet, and we remember him especially because of national anthem. Let's come to the text on page number 55. He is born in 1861 and died on 1941. He is revered as Gurudev, was born in Kolkata, India. He started writing poetry from early childhood. Tagore was not only a writer but also a philosopher, musician, painter, and educationalist. He founded the Vishwabharati University at Shantiniketan in West Bengal. In 1930, Tagore was awarded the Nobel Prize for Literature. This Rabindranath Tagore, and the thing that we have to remember is that as a great philosopher, and all his poems reflects deep thoughts. Even though it is very simple in appearance, it has deep thoughts. So try to read some of his poems. And also he is a musician, painter, and educationist. And he even founded Vishwabharati University at Shantiniketan in West Bengal, 1930. And he is best known for the greatest award, the Nobel Prize for Literature in the year 1930. Let's come to the poem, The Palm Tree. The palm tree stands on one leg, sees past the other trees into the sky. He wants to pierce the clouds so grey and soar away, but can he fly? At length his wish he starts to spread around his head in big round fronds. He thinks they are wings to let him roam away from home, breaking all bonds. The livelong day the branches cure, sigh and sure he thinks he flies, in his own mind skirting the stars, rising afar across the skies. But when the wind is still at last, and the leaves hushed back homeward then, he turns his thoughts and Mother Earth that gave him birth he loves again. Now, let's go into the details of the poem. And in this particular poem, there is a palm tree. Palm tree is the major character in this particular poem. And it imagines that it can fly because it has wings, because he thinks that its leaves are its wings, and with that it can fly. And it imagines a lot of things, and the tree is being personified here. And finally, after a complete day's effort, the tree tries to come back to its home. What is the home of the palm tree? Where is it being rooted? The palm tree is rooted on the earth, Mother Earth. The palm tree finally comes back to the earth. The trees usually grows towards the sky. They spread their branches and they are rooted in one place. The palm tree is also rooted on the earth. Let's study the poem stanza by stanza. The palm tree stands on one leg, sees past other trees into the sky. He wants to pierce the clouds so grey and soar away. But can he fly? In the beginning of the poem, the palm tree is being personified as a man. You know that certain inanimate things will be given the qualities of human beings. So here the palm tree is standing. The people will be standing, or the animate things will be standing. The palm tree stands on one leg. It has only a single leg. It is just like a giant's leg. You know what is the leg of the tree? That's the trunk of the tree. It stands on one leg and it sees past other trees into the sky. Since it is taller than all other trees, it sees other trees as shorter. When it is standing with the other trees, it is much taller to other trees. So it sees other trees as minor trees or shorter trees, but it is much superior to all other trees. He wants to pierce the clouds so grey. His wish, what is his first wish? He wants to pierce the clouds so grey. It wants to make a hole in the clouds. Clouds color is grey, and his wish is to pierce the clouds. What is the meaning of pierce? To make a hole in something. You have seen making holes on the ear or nose. Okay, and here the tree's wish is to move up to the clouds and make a hole. That means it thinks that it can move even up to the clouds and make a hole. Beyond that it can go and soar away, and from there he can fly again. But can he fly? Even though he has a lot of wish, is it possible for him to satisfy or fulfill his desires? That's what the poet asks. At length, his wish he starts to spread around his head in big round fronts. He thinks they are wings to let him roam away from home, breaking all bonds. And the poet is telling that at length his wish he starts to spread. What does he spread? His wings. What is his wings? His fronds. What is the meaning of fronds? Palm branches or leaves. And with this wish, what is a wish? It has to fly up to the clouds. And in order to satisfy that wish, it is flying up to it is spreading its wings to reach up to the sky, and it thinks they are wings. He thinks, the tree thinks that these branches are its wings to let him roam away from home, breaking all bonds, and which will help it to break away all the bonds. Bonds, what is the meaning of bonds? Chains, restrictions. When we are at home, we are not happy because our parents will be saying something. That's why we try to be free. The tree is also like a child. It is trying to be away from home, breaking all bonds, all relations. It wants to move away from all types of relations, and it wants to keep itself free. It wants to break away all types of restrictions. That is what the tree thinks in the second stanza. The livelong day the branches quiver, sigh and shiver. He thinks he flies, in his own mind skirting the stars racing afar across the skies. Livelong day means the day that is very long. The whole day the branches quiver with the help of the wind. The branches or the wings which thinks that its wings, it is shaking because of the wind, and sigh and shiver. Shiver, it is shaking itself. He thinks he flies. When he is helped by the wind to be shaked and sighed and shivered, it is thinking that it is flying. In his own mind, skirting the stars. And in imagination, he thinks that he has even reached the stars. Skirting means touching. It has touched the stars, racing afar across the trees, and even it has reached. It is running afar across the trees and is moving across the trees. That is what the tree thinks when it reaches to the, or when it is quivering, sighing, and shivering. But when the wind is still at last and the leaves hushed back homeward, then he turns his thoughts and Mother Earth that gave him birth he loves again. But when the wind is still, that means when the wind is stopped, still means stopped, it is calm. When it is calm at last, and the leaves hushed, hushed means still then the leaves were making noises. Now it stopped making noises. Back homeward then only it will comes to the reality that it has to come towards its home. It has to return to its home. So the tree, till then it was in the imagination, now it comes to the reality that it has to return home. And then he turns his thoughts and Mother Earth that gave him birth, he loves again. And when he thinks of his home, he thinks about his mother. Who is its mother? The tree is rooted on the earth. That's why it is attached to the earth, Mother Earth. So it gave him, and Mother Earth gave birth to the trees. That is why it has to come back to the earth, and since it has given life for the trees, so it allows to come back to the Mother Earth. And from this particular poem, we understand that even though we like to move away from home, and when we are in in a struggle or anything, we like to move away from home, but finally when we will come to the reality that we have to come back to home, that is our proper place. When we are restless, we often think that we have to do a lot of things, or the things that we cannot have. But when we are still and when we are making our mind calm and quiet, we'll be thinking about the gift that we have. The palm is gifted with a lot of things. It is rooted on the earth and it can give a lot of things to the people as well as to others. Mainly, it can give us at least rest, isn't it? Okay, so it is not at all thinking about what it has, but thinking about the things it doesn't have. We should not be stuck in the thoughts of what others have and what we miss. We always think about the things that we have and focus on that, so that it will help us to fulfill our desires. There is a saying, east or west, home is the best. Wherever we go, finally we comes back to the reality that home is the best place. Our home is the best thing. And whatever we have, that is the best things. Finally, only it will be found at the end only. Till then we will be thinking about others and will be comparing. Don't compare with others, but be satisfied with the gifts that is given by God, and be satisfied or fulfilled with the things that we can give to others. So, children, be aware of the qualities that you have and what are the things that you can do to others in order to make use of your qualities. Find it out, and that will be the best work that you can do. And after that, you use your maximum skills for others. That is the will of God. And the palm tree teaches us a lot of things, and this is a very thoughtful poem. Talking about poetic devices employed by the poet is, one of the poetic devices that is employed by the poet is personification. Here in this particular poem, the tree is having the qualities of a person. In the beginning itself, it is personified as he. The palm tree stands on one leg. It's not possible for a tree to stand on leg. It is standing on the trunk only. but the poet calls it or tells that it is standing on one leg. The other things that is done by this he or the palm tree is that it stands, it sees, it wishes, it thinks, it sighs, it shivers, it imagines. When you go all through the poem, you can see all these things are done by this particular palm tree. So it is being qualified or personified and giving all the qualities of the human beings. When an inanimate object or the unmovable object is given the qualities of a human being or animate object, that is called personification. We can see personification all through this poem. Okay children, go through this poem, read well and study it. You'll be given the question answers and try to understand this poem. It's very simple. Even though it has deep thoughts, it is very simple. Try to understand it, read it many times, try to understand the meanings. With this, we stop today, right? Okay.